Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show, and it is time for your Leeds versus Tottenham Hotspur preview. Just before we get into the video, guys, as always, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit the notification bell, follow me on Twitch, and please do sponsor me for November. Not long left to go now, and I'm looking more and more like Charlie Bronson as the day go on. Enjoy the video. Look, it's good. It feels great that international football is now sort of on the back burner. For European football anyway. I think AFCON happens around Christmas time, but there'll be no break in the footballing fixture. So no international break now till around about May time, which is good for me, good for you, and yeah, good for us all. Good for us all. And of course, what a game to return back to. Leeds are away against Tottenham Hotspur. Antonio Conte's Tottenham Hotspur. I've been thinking about it for a while, thinking, oh God, you know, we've got them after the international break, and Conte will have had time to get into this squad, and we know how great of a coach he is. And definitely, I mean, it's a massive improvement over Nuno Espirito Santo. I'm not like, listen, Nuno for me should have never got the Spurs job. It is what it is. I think he was even sacked from Wolves, although we don't know 100% yet. It just seemed a bit of a mad transition, but it was always a stopgap, wasn't he? I think they were hoping for a decent 18 months and then bring in a Conte, but as it turns out, they needed to speed up that process. You can understand why, because they were going nowhere. But one thing's for sure, with Antonio Conte at the helm, there is even chat of them getting top four over Manchester United. I mean, I still think there's a long way to go for that yet. Do I think they'll get European football? Yes. I mean, they got European football last season, didn't they? That Europa Conference League. But I just think top four is a little bit too soon. I think the squad... okay, no, that's probably wrong. I think there's a lot leveled at this Spurs squad that it's not great, okay? Certain areas defensively, I don't think... they're great and they do need improvements, maybe in the midfield too. But, you know, Son, Kane... phenomenal. And Antonio Conte will certainly get a tune out of them very soon. But I think maybe too soon for this Leeds United game. And I'm quite confident. Look, I take a point now. I'm not saying we're going to steamroll Spurs. Maybe if Nuno was still at the helm, we could have had a conversation. But I do think maybe it's still a little bit too soon to see the real manager bounce that's expected under Antonio Conte. And the reason I say that is because, yes, there's been an international duty. And yes, you would hope during that time that the new coach, new manager would, you know, be looking to get into his squad. But Spurs have had 14 players away on international duty. They've also got a number of injuries, much like Leeds United, and we'll touch on Leeds United soon. But Romero, new signing, centre-back, obviously picked up an injury on international duty with Argentina. Ollie Skip's suspended. I think there's going to be a late call on Højbjerg, which again, that really limits their midfield option. I think Lo Celso picked up a knock whilst on international duty as well. And Conte, like I said, the Højbjerg will be assessed in the morning or over the weekend. So they are pretty threadbare as well. I think Romero's a huge loss for them. So coupled with the fact that 14 of their players have been away on international duty, a lot are injured and not that many available. And he's been quite scathing on the squad as well. He said a lot of them are overweight. You know, he's banned ketchup, he's banned all this sort of stuff, which is fair enough. I get all that. He's a winner, he's elite. But what I'm saying is, can we expect such an immediate turnaround? Because we've not seen it up until this point with Spurs. So the Everton game, that was a really, really poor game. And that one finished 0-0. Obviously, just beating Vitesse Arnhem as well, 3-2. I think they were like 3-0 up, possibly. Or were home and hose for a bit, and then them defensive frailties came in. Look, one thing's for sure, we won't see so many defensive frailties in this game, I don't think. Look, Tottenham will be culpable or can be susceptible to making errors at the back, which could lead to Leeds United getting chances on that. But I think in this game, Antonio Conte will set up so that Spurs don't concede. That's the first and foremost thing that he's going to look to do with that 5-3-2 or 3-5-2, however you want to look at it, the 3 centre-backs and 2 wing-backs. It's actually, I was speaking with Matt Hayes from the Tottenham blog. Tottenham haven't had a shot on target since the first like 15 minutes of the West Ham game. They lost that one as well. I know this was under Nuno, but it's not been a great time for Spurs. And obviously in the Premier League, you know, they've struggled to create. Admittedly, since that game, okay, you've only had really the Man United game and obviously the Everton game, but it is quite a scathing indictment, really, if you ask me, of Tottenham at this moment in time. So, look, they're not creating a lot. Will that change, though? We know that Harry Kane, as all the cool kids are saying, has been stat padding whilst he's been away on international duty. He's not had a great run at Spurs. There's a lot of fans don't want him there. Well, I know a few. I think they're in the minority. Sometimes we can slip into believing that Twitter is the majority. It certainly isn't. And I think a lot of Spurs fans would like to see Harry Kane finish his career there, regardless of what he said in the summer, because the guy is a goal machine. Call it stat padding, whatever you want, but you know he's been smashing it for England. He's doing it quicker than the likes of Rooney, Lineker, almost half the time it took them. And you know, Rooney played similar opposition, so you know it just shows how good he is in front of goal, and that's soon going to translate to Premier League goals as well for me. And rightly so, a lot of Leeds fans were concerned when he started scoring, and I think he scored 7 goals, didn't he? He had a perfect hat-trick against Albania, got 4 against San Marino. I get it's only these small teams, but goals give strikers confidence, whatever level, you know? So he's going to be chomping at the bit. Antonio Conte will get the best out of him. Just will he have had enough time up until this point to start to get the best out of him? I think even Son maybe missed one of the games on international duty, but I believe that's a regular thing. I don't think there's any concerns with him. But they're the real worries for me, is the Kanes, the Son, Tanguy and Ndombele. Will he play as well? He's one of the best press-resistant players in the division, and obviously, if Rodrigo was tasked with the man-marking job of you know, on Ndombele, he's going to struggle in that area for sure. But I have a sneaky suspicion Ndombele won't start, and that'll work in Leeds United favour for me. Look, Skip's out. So I know Conte said in his presser that it'll either be Harry Winks or Ndombele, but he has also come out and said a few things about Ndombele, saying that he needs to work harder than everyone else and play for the team, not just for himself. You know, he's not had the best start or best time his Spurs career. Very much a maverick, you could say, and like with Conte, wants everyone, you know, pulling in one direction. You know that Bielsa wouldn't take. Well, he probably would take Ndombele, but you get what I'm saying. You have to have a certain work ethic, and I think Conte calling him out maybe he's hoping he can get something from them. He said, look, he has talent, but he has to put this talent for the best of the team, not for himself, you know? So is that maybe, because he also said he was overweight, and I'm led to believe the guy's been doing like triple training sessions because he's not been away on international duty. I just had this mad image of like Conte like saying, run, fat boy, run, and Ndombele just doing laps. So maybe we'll get like a sleek Sleen and Ndombele, and he'll rip it up and dominate it. We'll have to wait and see, but I think he might not make this game. I think he's been scathing in the press, looking for some sort of, you know, reaction from him. Maybe not in this game. I hope not anyway. But for me, the way that Spurs will line up with, of course, the players that they are missing, I think it'll be a back three of Sanchez, Eric Dyer, and Ben Davies. For me, the back three can be got at and are susceptible to errors. Look, Dyer can have a barnstorming performance and then score 2 own goals. It is what it is. Right wing back, Emerson Royal and Reguilon at left wing back. I think then you will have maybe a double pivot of Højbjerg and Ndombele, and Dele Alli just behind Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. But again, I might be wrong, but you know, I spoke to Matt. I've listened to a few Spurs fans, and that's where I think they will line up. And look, I take a point. Let's not kid ourselves. Regardless of what form Spurs were in prior to Conte and what they look like now, they are a great side. You know, like Locks, I have a joke. I think Leeds United, after the Leicester result, look like they could be back. We need more of the same against Spurs. And he says, nah, we're just rubbish. But Leicester are a good side. They have fantastic players. And regardless of what Spurs, it's still going to be a difficult test. You know, even under Nuno, it would still have been a difficult test just due to the players they have at their disposal. And some of the names there, you know, Harry Kane, Son, and Ndombele if he's used, Højbjerg. You know, you would take these players. You would take these players 100%. And Leeds United themselves are short. I mean, we're still without Patrick Bamford. We're still without Luke Ayling. There isn't even a time frame on them two. And they are huge for this football club. They are huge for Leeds United and the way that we play. Robin Koch, still away. Will we ever see this man? Does he even exist? Yo, Robin Koch's gone full limp. Do you know what I mean? He's gone full limp. He's gone missing. He's gone missing. Will we see Robin Koch again? I hope so, but I'm just not sure. Firpo is evolving. Apparently, he's healthy in Bielsa's words, but he needs game time. And we know that Calvin, when we had the similar sort of reaction from Bielsa when he said he needed game time, he didn't play. He was played on the bench and then he played in the cup. So could Firpo rock up for the under-23s? I'm not sure. Geldart and Shackleton the same. I think Geldart actually started on the bench and Tyler Roberts started in the under-23s today as well. So is that an indictment of where Tyler Roberts stands in the squad? Or maybe he just felt it was too soon for Geldart to play in the under-23s? Or is Geldart being safe for that bench position and Tyler now in the under-23s? We just don't know. I think Leeds United will line up nigh on exactly the same we did against Leicester. And we need to set that same standard because we played well in that game and could have won the game if it weren't for poor decision-making in the final third from the likes of Jack Harrison and Dan James for me. Dan James is due a goal. I think once he gets that goal, and he's had a great international break as well, so that'll breed, you know, his confidence. And I think once he gets one or gets a couple more assists, we know he got one for Rafinha against Norwich, but we were woeful in that game. We need a good performance from Dan James that equates to numbers as well. You know, he was good against Wolves. He was good against Leicester. But we need something that little bit extra. Hopefully we get a better Jack Harrison as well. He's severely lacking confidence for me. Severely lacking confidence. You know, Pascal played at left back last time. If Firpo isn't ready, which I don't think he will be, we may see that again. You know, you'll see from Leeds United a lot of interchanging of positions again for sure. You will see a lot of interchanging of positions. Of course, Adam Forshaw is going to be in the middle of the park as well. So the fact that Spurs may be a little bit disjointed, having to move players around, or they skip out, maybe Højbjerg doesn't make it, will on Ndombele starting a double pivot. Will it be a single pivot? I don't know. There is many different permutations that will keep Leeds United guessing. But, you know, Adam Forshaw in there alongside Calvin. Will it be Click? Could it be Dallas? Rodrigo as well keeps getting better and better for me. So we'll have to wait and see, but it is going to be tough. And if I'm being honest with you, if you give me a point now, I'd snap your hands off because we've got some very winnable games coming after that. You know, we've got Brighton away. We very rarely do well against Graham Potter and Brighton, but it gives us a better indication of where we're at. You know, we've then got Palace, we've got Brentford. Winnable games, you know, winnable games. And we need points on the board. Let's not kid ourselves. We need points on the board because December is rock hard. December is rock hard. You know, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, all back-to-back at some point. It's going to be a tough Christmas. A tough Christmas, believe me. So we need to get points on the board and we need to get them soon. Like if I was to stick my neck on the line, listen, I've said we'd take a point. It's very rare that Leeds United are involved in 0-0 games, but this could well be a 0-0 game, you know. Tottenham haven't had a shot on target in 2 straight Premier League games, as I said, the last time being against West Ham, like from the 20th minute. I don't know if they'll quite have clicked yet. They're going to be defensively resolute. Could be, you know, susceptible to making errors. Could we capitalize on that? I just think we're a little bit disjointed in terms of the players that are available. I would much prefer a Bamford, you know, pressing the likes of Sanchez, Dyer, and Ben Davies for sure. You know, that goes without saying. Ayling would be a huge plus as well down that right-hand side. Will it be Dallas down there? You know, could Cody Drama be used? I don't know. I just feel we're a little bit disjointed ourselves. Tottenham will set up not to concede, and it could be a bit of a drab game. And we're not involved in many drab games, but it depends what Leeds United turn up. If we go and give it a go, then we could come away with something. But I would snap your hand off for a point now. And it's very rare we're involved in 0-0s, but it could well be a 0-0 game, this one. We will have to wait and see, though. I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I will be doing a watch-along for this game as well. Please do sponsor me for November. Check me out on Twitch as well. And enjoy the game, and I'll see you on Sunday for a watch-along from 4 o'clock on the Just Joe Football Show. I'm going to go for 0-0. I think it's going to be 0-0, but I'd take a point. I would take a point. Thank you, as always, for watching, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace out. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.